The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning is the new series where people are given a rare chance to sort out their homes, lives, and relationships. We have Katarina, Ella, and Johan here, otherwise known as the Swedish Death Cleaners. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Hello.
The series is now streaming on Peacock. The very first episode, Susie, I mean, she has an interesting collection, wonderful costume. I want to help her, but I also want to be her friend. Let's talk a little bit about kicking
Yeah. We are her friend. Yeah. You can be envious of us.
Katarina, let's talk a little bit about the emotional side of it, because oftentimes with hoarding, there's a lot of emotional baggage. Someone might have gone through something traumatic. Do you really need to sort that out first before the next part comes?
I do think these are really interwoven with each other. You have to start poking around their things, and then it will trigger emotions, and that's when you swoop in the psychologist and to just kind of process whatever is surfacing. So I think this is a common thread you will see in each and every episode. Ella's starting to make them clean their things, and things will happen.
Ella, as far as organizing, oftentimes you could organize something, let's just say you organize it on a Saturday, and by Tuesday, it goes back to the way it normally was before. What's a tip that you give everybody as far as organizing something so that it stays that way?
Yeah, it's about looking at your home and figure out the logistic, how you are using your space in your home, and make sure that you have the organization nearby where you use the things. Otherwise, it will end up in a pile, and just for meanwhile, I put it here, and then you have that shuffle game in your home, like, moving around those different piles, So look where you have, what stuff is it that ends up in those piles. And if it's too far away from where you use those things.
Did you start a shuffle game?
No comment. But I have but of the shuffle game, Johan, especially, sometimes people have collections, whether it's of books, of movies, of, art, photographs, and it ends up in boxes, it ends up in the basement, it ends up in closets. Talk a little bit about maybe designing a room or designing a space that maybe celebrates the things that we love and the things that make us who we are.
Well, the show is a lot about self-editing, to edit your stuff, looking at things through the perspective of death. We all gonna die, and looking at your life with that, with those spectacles on, you will see what's really important for you. So the editing will become lighter and lighter while we go through it. So the interior design that I do reflects the purpose of your life. So it shouldn't be that hard in the end to sort those boxes out and find what images or drawings you want to keep.
Amy Poehler is the executive producer and the narrator of the show. Have you gone to her house? Did she ask for any advice? Or tell me a little bit about that experience.
She doesn't dare to let us in. She has 7 locks on the door.
Yeah.
The boss's house is off limits.
Yeah. 2 bodyguards.
I don't know who wants to answer this. I don't know, Katarina, if this is more a question for you. But as far as like maybe someone who might be on a weight loss journey, you're not going to work out one time and everything's going to happen for you. You're not going to be able, it's a pattern. It's little steps that you do. But when do you realize that you need some extra guidance? What's a kind of a time frame that you should give somebody if they're going through this process of like months, weeks, years? How long should this take?
That's an interesting question. It can happen so fast, and it can also be stretched over time, of course. I think this all boils down to honesty. So how honest is this person prepared to be with themselves in the conversation with a therapist or with me? The more honesty, the faster it goes. So in the show, people were so brave, and they were opening up. So we could really see where their true pain was, the things that they've been avoiding for years. And once you can see that, you can organize their emotional life, like you can process it. So they feel like, oh, I can actually handle this now, as well as they can handle their physical space, their home. So this is really, once again, it goes hand in hand, this process. And I think this is the magic of the show. This is why it's so interesting. It's hands-on, but there's still living your most colorful life, your most fulfilled life.
The book is The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, which is the same title as the show, which Margareta actually writes that the death cleaning process is something you do to the end of life while you actually began to do it. So it's a journey you do to the bitter end.
to the bitter end. Not only are we talking about the things that are in our homes, but maybe give a couple of suggestions to people. Obviously it's whether it's boredom, it's depression, it's the great prices you find, but sometimes people make a trip to the store of, I need to buy a new pair of pants, and then there's a jacket on sale, there's a pair of shoes, and before you know it, you're adding more things to your house that maybe you necessarily don't need, or dishes. It could be a number of things, just because maybe the price point is great, maybe because you're going through something. But talk a little bit about bringing more things into your house and how to maybe avoid that or tackle that subject.
I mean, that's also one of the things to start looking at. Don't bring in any more before you start doing the work, going through the things you already have. One thing that really stands out if we compare it to Sweden is that you have so much seasonal stuff here in the US. For example, you shouldn't see, like in Sweden, a cake stand just made for Halloween occasion. Like, we put the cakes on a plain, simple white plate. Instead, we don't buy a lot of things just for one occasion. So you end up with a lot of duplicates, I think. It accumulates
exactly.
quickly. We maybe add just a napkin that you can throw away after the party is over.
I add 2 napkins.
I just looked into my own kitchen. I have one for Halloween, one for Christmas, one for New Year's, one for my birthday.
Yes.
I have like 8 different ones. That light bulb moment right here.
Oh, wow.
You need us. You need us.
Come back to the States. And then you on really quickly. I know for me, when I'm sorting through things and I'm cleaning things, I know you're also a DJ, but I love to put on my music and kind of have that playlist, and it gets me going. What's on your playlist when you're cleaning, when you're sorting, when you're helping people out?
Vocal house.
And house music is so special in Chicago.
Yes, exactly. That's where it all began. Yes.
That's where it all began.
It's true. So fun talking to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today. The Gentle Art of Swedish Self-Cleaning, the new series, now streaming on Peacock.
Thank you.
Thank you.